قال الله سبحانه وتعالى في محكم التنزيل: يا أيها الذين آمنوا إذا نودي للصلاة من يوم الجمعة فاسعوا إلى ذكر الله وذروا البيع ذلكم خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض وابتغوا من فضل الله واذكروا الله كثيرا لعلكم تفلحون. وإذا رأوا تجارة أو لهوا انفضوا إليها وتركوك قائما قل ما عند الله خير من اللهو ومن التجارة والله خير الرازقين. يأمر تعالى عباده المؤمنين بالحضور لصلاة الجمعة والمبادرة إليها من حين ينادى لها والسعي إليها، والمراد بالسعي هنا المبادرة إليها والاهتمام لها وجعلها أهم الأشغال لا العدو الذي قد نهي عنه عند المضي إلى الصلاة. وقوله وذروا البيع أي اتركوا البيع إذا نودي للصلاة وامضوا إليها، فإن ذلكم خير لكم من اشتغالكم بالبيع وتفويتكم الصلاة الفريضة التي هي من آكد الفروض، إن كنتم تعلمون أن ما عند الله خير وأبقى، وأن من آثر الدنيا على الدين فقد خسر الخسارة الحقيقية من حيث ظن أنه يربح، وهذا الأمر بترك البيع مؤقت مدة الصلاة. فإذا قضيت الصلاة فانتشروا في الأرض لطلب المكاسب والتجارات. ولما كان الاشتغال بالتجارة مظنة الغفلة عن ذكر الله أمر الله بالإكثار من ذكره فقال واذكروا الله كثيرا أي في حال قيامكم وقعودكم وعلى جنوبكم لعلكم تفلحون، فإن الإكثار من ذكر الله أكبر أسباب الفلاح. Allah Azza wa Jal, He says in Surah Al-Jumu'ah, verse 9 to verse 11, what is translated to mean: O you who believe, إِذَا نُودِيَ, when the call to the prayer is made on the day of Jumu'ah, then rush forth, run, hasten to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ, and leave off all trade, leave off all business, leave off all busyness, all means of buying and selling. That is better for you if you only but knew. Allah then says, and when the salah is finished, then go, run, go leave, go out and seek Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's provision throughout the land. There's nothing wrong with that. Seek Allah's bounty. And remember Allah abundantly, perhaps that you will be successful. Remember Allah in abundance for you to succeed. Abdurrahman ibn Nasir ibn Sa'idi rahimahullah says, Allah the Sublime, the Most High, commands His believing slaves to go to Salat al-Jum'ah. He orders them to rush to Jum'ah, to go to Jum'ah when the call is made. And what's meant by rushing or running, striving, He says here is mubadara, is immediate attendance, is ihtimam, giving Jum'ah the utmost importance on Jum'ah. And let's think about this now. On the day of Jum'ah, what's the most important thing? Your day off, going back to work, going to work, eating, visiting, fulana, this game, that game, cricket, basketball, hockey. What's the most important thing for you on Jumu'ah? Based off of what we're reading, Allah Azza wa Jalla is basically telling us Jumu'ah should be the most important thing for you on Friday. It's Jumu'ah. Making sure that I get there, not on time, but early. If the khatib prepares the khutbah, whatever you need to do, that should be the first primary objective on this day, is ihtimam. And it's so important, and you must have so importance that Allah Azza wa Jalla basically says, run, make sa'i. Even though that's not what's meant, it's literally running, literally charging. But it's so important, make your focus, your main focus, not your only focus, but your main focus is that run to it, that way you won't miss it. So He then says, Allah is not telling us to run to the salah when it's time to make the salah. Allah then says, وَذَرُوا الْبَيْعَ, and leave off buying, leave off selling, leave off trading. Utruku, when the call is made. Why? فَإِنَّ ذَلِكُمْ خَيْرٌ لَكُمْ, because that is better for you. That is better for you than you staying busy with commerce, with trading, and wasting the salah, which is mandatory, which is from the most important obligatory things in Islam. From the most important obligations in the deen is the faridah salah. He then says, in kuntum ta'lamun, if you only but knew what Allah has, and that which Allah has is better and it's everlasting. It's better than all the pleasures in the dunya, which could be pleasurable, which could be good, which could be fun, which could be nice. But Allah is what? Is better. And not only is it better, but it's everlasting. All of the things that you have in this life will go away eventually. If you live a long, happy life of comfort and luxury and privilege from the time that you were an infant until you became an old man, 80, 90, 100, no matter how long your life is, it's going to come to an end. But these things don't exist with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There's no end with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's reward. Let alone the fact that it's better, it's pure. The wealth, the riches that you got, the luxury that you have came from another people's suffering. And many times, the kings and the people that live this life of luxury and privilege come from people's backs. Slaves breaking their backs, freezing in the cold to build this wall. Their fingers falling off, literally, numb, hands being removed from frostbite to build this great palace for you to be comfortable and cozy and luxurious. So not only do the pleasures of Allah, they're better, but they're everlasting. You may have something that's good in the dunya, but it's not going to last forever. And if you do have it for some time, in most cases or oftentimes it comes from bad, negative things. You're eating because another man is starving. You're warm because a nation of people are cold. You're sleeping on a soft bed because people are sleeping on the floor. Your belly is full while others starve. So the luxury, the pleasure, the joys that Allah gives, they are better, they're pure, and they're truly everlasting. He even says, subhanahu wa ta'ala, and those who give the dunya for the deen, they compromise deen for the dunya. He says they throw away the deen for the dunya. They give precedence to the dunya over the deen. He says then they are the true losers. They've really lost the game. Whereas they think they're going to be successful. They think that they're going to win. And that's not the case. And Allah only tells you to leave off buying and selling, leave off trading, leave off work, leave off business at the time of salah. So this verse teaches us the divine balance. So it says a balance. There's nothing wrong with making a living. It's nothing wrong with being successful in the world. It's nothing wrong with seeking Allah's rizq, but not at the cost and at the expense of the deen. This basic elementary level is something that so many of us as Muslims fail to understand. Islam does not want you to starve. Islam does not want you not to take care of yourself and your family, but not at the expense of your soul. Everybody understand this? Not at the expense of your ruh. That's not ever going to die. That's going to live forever. Punishment or pleasure. He then says, فَإِذَا قُضِيَتِ الصَّلَاةُ فَانْتَشِرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ. And when the prayer is finished, then spread throughout the land to seek your rizq, to make money, to earn the lawful things. Now, why does Allah say this? What is the secret behind these Quranic verses? وَاذْكُرُوا اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. Remember Allah abundantly so that you will be successful. In other words, he says, since working, since buying and selling are reasons behind heedlessness, Allah told you to remember Him in abundance because that's the greatest reason behind success. When people buy, when they sell, when they're in the marketplace, when they work, how many people are making dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the suq? How many people swearing, cursing, laughing, joking, lying, exaggerating on prices, inflating prices, not lowering their gaze? How many pickpockets? How many people are stealing in the marketplace? The marketplace in general is a breeding ground for ghafla, for heedlessness. And if you're busy with tijara, with buying and selling, you don't have to be heedless, but it is a what? It can be a reason behind you being heedless. And that is the secret behind Allah Azza wa Jalla saying, seek money, seek rizq, but remember Allah abundantly. You have to try even harder because the nature of your profession, of your earnings is what? Is heedlessness. Being heedless from the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He then says, وَاذْكُرُ اللَّهَ كَثِيرًا. Mention Allah abundantly when you're standing, when you're sitting, and when you're lying down. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُفْلِحُونَ. That you will be successful. Because mentioning Allah abundantly is the greatest reasons behind success. Not your smarts, not your business ventures, not your business deals, not your real estate, not your family. The greatest reason behind success is to mention Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala abundantly. وَإِذَا رَأَوْا تِجَارَةً أَوْ لَهْوًا انْفَضُّوا إِلَيْهَا أي خرجوا من المسجد حرصا على ذلك اللهو وتلك التجارة وتركوا الخير وتركوك قائما تخطب الناس وذلك في يوم جمعة بينما النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يخطب الناس إذ قدم المدينة عير تحمل تجارة فلما سمع الناس بها وهم في المسجد انفضوا من المسجد وتركوا النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم يخطب استعجالا لما لا ينبغي أن يستعجل له. والترك, he says here, then Allah Azza wa Jal, he says, وَإِذَا رَأَوْا تِجَارَةً, and whenever they see some tijara, some commerce, some buying and some selling, انفضوا إليها, they rush to it, they run to it. وَتَرَكُكَ قَائِمًا, and they leave you standing. They leave you standing. He says they leave the masjid and they're eager and they're earnest upon this lahu, play, amusement, idleness, something from the worldly life. Even if it's not haram. It doesn't have to be haram. It's not a bad thing. But if it's not the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then it's a type of lahu. It's a type of lahu. It's a type of amusement that is not mentioning Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they left the Prophet ﷺ standing and making Jum'ah. As is known, he says one day the Prophet was giving a khutbah, and the people in Medina, some of the Sahaba, they heard of a caravan coming from outside of Medina and was bringing in all types of goods, all types of things. So they rushed and they hastened and they left the masjid when they were not supposed to do that. Before we move any further, we see that this ayah here proves the kufr, major kufr, for those who reject the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Those who say that Islam is just the Quran. Islam is, there's no such thing as Muhammad's words, Muhammad's statements. Hadiths are all fake. They're all false. We don't need the hadiths. They're not Muslims. Because what is Allah talking about in this verse? Who's Allah speaking to? Who went outside the masjid and rushed towards the caravan? And who did they leave standing up? Except for who? Who? How do you know? Allah doesn't say Muhammad's name. He doesn't say the messenger of Allah. It doesn't mention. In other words, Allah tells you a story, and this is a consistent Quranic theme. Oftentimes, when Allah speaks about Muhammad and the Sahaba, He'll mention the beginning of the story and the end of the story. Or sometimes He'll just mention the middle of the story. And the details and major parts and chunks of what happened with the Prophet's wife when he drank the honey. Surah Al-Tahrim, Surah Al-Ahzab. Who did the Prophet marry? Who was Zayd? Who are the Ad'iyat? Their stepsons that they adopted. Everybody understand this? Allah doesn't tell us about these details. In other words, Allah is telling us something that is known and established, or it's going to be known and established. And that knowing and that establishment only comes from where? The hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. Who's Zayd? When did the Prophet marry? When did he divorce? What was the Prophet hiding? That can only be found where? In hadith of the Prophet ﷺ. So those who say that there's no hadith, it's just Quran, they are telling Allah, you're not making any sense. This story doesn't make any sense. You tell me a piece here, a snippet there, a sample there. That's nonsense. That's foolishness. So those people who do not believe in the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ are kuffar, kufr akbar, waliyadhu billah. And there's no such thing as a Muslim who's a Qur'ani. They don't deserve that name, that title, Qur'ani. They are apostates. They have left the deen because they have outwardly, blatantly disrespected Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Everybody understand this point? You got this, Saladin? Allah says they leave you standing up. Who do they leave? It's not mentioned, but it's going to be mentioned in the what? In the seerah. And the seerah is only handed down through hadith of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So he says here, قُلْ مَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, say, مَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, that which Allah has, مِنَ الْأَجْرِ وَالثَّوَابِ لِمَنْ لَازِمَ الْخَيْرَ وَصَبَّرَ نَفْسَهُ عَلَى عِبَادَةِ رَبِّهِ. Say, O Muhammad, مَا عِنْدَ اللَّهِ, that which Allah has for those, that which Allah has of reward and of bounty for those who, he says, لَازَمَ الْخَيْرِ, they always do khair. وَصَبَّرَ نَفْسَهُ, and they force themselves to be patient upon Allah's dhikr. I want the money. I want the tijara. I can work right now. It's Friday, it's a weekend, it's New Year's. But I make myself to have the necessary sabr because Jum'ah is ibadah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He then says, خَيْرٌ مِنَ اللَّهْوِ وَمِنَ التِّجَارَةِ التي وإن حصل منها بعض المقاصد فإن ذلك قليل منغص مفوت لخير الآخرة ليس الصبر على طاعة الله مفوتا للرزق فإن الله خير الرازقين فمن اتقى الله رزقه من حيث لا يحتسب. Allah says that is better than lahu, play and amusement, and commerce, which even if you get some benefit, some fruits, is still a trifle. Qalilun munghis, still nothing. Nothing compared to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives. And obeying Allah, the mighty and the majestic, never ever makes you lose out on khair. Allahu Akbar. You never lose out on rizq through ta'ah. He says the ta'ah, the obedience of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, allows you to get the rizq. And when you turn away from Allah's dhikr and His obedience, the tijara that you're making, mufawwat lil khair. It makes you lose out on better. It makes you lose out on something that is more virtuous for yourself if you only but knew. Those who mention Allah, who fear Him, who obey Him, they will be provided through ways they never ever imagined. They never imagined. وفي هذه الآيات فوائد عديدة. He says there are countless benefits in these ayat. Number one, منها أن الجمعة فريضة على جميع المؤمنين يجب عليهم السعي لها والمبادرة والاهتمام بشأنها. The first faida is that Jum'ah is mandatory upon all believers, and they must rush to it. They must pay a great deal of importance to Jum'ah. ومنها أن الخطبتين يوم الجمعة فريضتان يجب حضورهما لأنه فسر الذكر هنا بالخطبتين فأمر الله بالمضي إليه والسعي له. The second faida is that the two sermons, the two khutbahs are mandatory, فريضتان, and everyone must go to them. You can't just go to one, come late on purpose. I'm going to just go make the salah and not listen to the khutbah. You must listen to both of the khutbahs. And that is because the dhikr of Allah in the ayah was explained as the khutbah. فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى ذِكْرِ اللَّهِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى الْخُطْبَةِ فَاسْعَوْا إِلَى الْخُطْبَتَيْنِ. He then says, وَمِنْهَا مَشْرُعِيَّةُ النِّدَاءِ لِيَوْمِ الْجُمْعَةِ وَالْأَمْرُ بِهِ. The third faida is that it's from the sunnah, it's from the deen to make a call for Jum'ah, to make an adhan. There should be an adhan. ومنها أو النهي عن البيع والشراء بعد نداء الجمعة وتحريم ذلك وما ذاك إلا لأنه يفوت الواجب ويشغل عنه. Next is buying and selling after the call of Jum'ah is haram. And the reason why it's haram is because it makes you lose out on that which is fariḍah. It makes you lose out on that which is mandatory. فدل ذلك على أن كل أمر لو ولو كان مباحا في الأصل إذا كان ينشأ عنه تفويت واجب فإنه لا يجوز في تلك الحال. He says in the qaida, the rule, the maxim that we take from this is that anything which is permissible, it's originally permissible to do, to eat this, to drink this, to wear that, if it causes you to lose out on something that's mandatory, that permissible act now becomes haram. It's no longer permissible to do it. Even though it was okay to do in the beginning. But because it preoccupies you from something that's mandatory, not recommended, that act now becomes haram. He then says, وَمِنْهَا الْأَمْرُ بِحُضُورِ الْخُطْبَتَيْنِ يَوْمَ الْجُمْعَةِ وَالذَّمُّ مَنْ لَمْ يَحْضُرْهُمَا وَمَنْ لَازِمَ ذَلِكَ الْإِنصَاتُ لَهُمَا. The next faida is that the command to go to the two khutbahs on Jum'ah and the dispraise of those who don't. And from this, the requirement of this is keeping silent, he says. مَنْ لَازِمِ ذَلِكَ. Not just going to the Jum'ah, talking, playing around, but to keep silent and to listen and to pay attention as what is being said. ومنها أنه ينبغي للعبد المقبل على عبادة الله وقد دواعي النفس لحضور الله والتجارات والشهوات أن يذكرها بما عند الله من الخيرات وما لمؤثر رضاه على هواه. He says the last faida is that when a person is being tempted or being tested by something of lust, something of amusement, something of play, something of worldly things, he should remind himself what Allah has. He should remind himself of what Allah Azza wa Jalla has with him. Not that I don't want to do it, it's not going to be good, it's going to be fun, but just stop and tell yourself Allah's reward is better. Allah's reward is everlasting. And not also necessarily looking at the other negative effects, but just think about the positive effects. If I sacrifice now, I can get something better. If I give it up now, Allah will give me something that is better and that is everlasting. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد وجزاكم الله خيرا.